Hello, this is Mark from I Am Organic Gardening, and today we're going to be going over our little test areas on our winter rye. We just used winter rye as a cover crop, and there's a lot of concerns out there how to terminate or manage it. So we're going to be looking at those test areas. It's been 12 days now since I first started this, and so we're going to take a closer look at all 4 test areas. You can see our first one here in the corner, and that's number 2, 3, and 4. So let's take a closer look. So test area number 1 that we did 12 days ago is that we just took the hedge trimmer and we cut it as close as we can to the ground without hitting the ground. And that's looking pretty good, as you can see here. There is some regrowth, but not too much. Test area number 2 is we did the same thing. We cut it, but we left the material in place. There's a little bit more regrowth there. I'm really surprised about that. It seems like the material left on top almost aided into the regrowth of it again. So here's the patch that I cut the material 12 days ago also. But you can see that it's still green. That's amazing. Now if we remove it, now there's no regrowth so far, and that's doing pretty good. So it's just like the other one, but this material is still green, which is good. This is a mulch that you can use. You can plant your plants in here and then put this back around it and act as a mulch. So now we moved on to test area number 3. In this one we cut it, number 1. Number 2, we left the material in place and then we covered it with plastic for the last 12 days. So let's take a look. So we have a dead spot there, but it looks like either probably a mouse or something else got in there and was trying to make a home in there. Now it's still a lot of green. It hasn't killed off, and most of the stuff that we cut down is still there. It's kind of brown and also green again too, but it hasn't really done much. So still test area number 1, just cutting it and removing it seems to be doing the best so far. Now at this point too, I get a lot of comments that they are worried about snails or slugs in their garden. Now I don't have that problem yet, but I'm sure I will get that in the future sometimes. But the biggest problem about snails or slugs is that those nematodes that I showed you in another film, you need them in the soil. So if you're growing soil in healthy soil, again, just like you're getting worms coming back in your garden because of this, you're also going to get the nematodes come back. And what they do is they invade the body of that slug or snail and will eventually kill it off. So in time they will go away. And this is our last test area. This is test area number 4. The only thing we did in this was to put the plastic bag on there and weigh it down in all 4 corners. Now I can see already here that the top is almost like a greenhouse. I don't know if you can see it well in the picture, but it's pretty much dome shaped. So that winter rye is pretty much still growing underneath it, but let's go see. Now you can see here that it hasn't really done much. It did yellow out, but it's been 12 days. Now, not the greatest improvement. So now we waited 12 days and we haven't had much. Now you can see where the bricks have been laid down further, and that is pretty much smothering it out. But again too, we still have, let's see if I can dig around it in an area. I also want to add this in there. When I took the plastic off, there was a very foul odor coming from this because, again, it's probably going anaerobic, and that's never good for your soil. What anaerobic means is that when it heats up too much or you get that foul odor or smell, that there's other bad bacteria that start growing, and that's, like I said, is never a good sign. So let's take a closer look where that brick was sitting on the ground. So let's take a closer look. Now, it seems that it's still pretty much green and alive, which it is. This isn't easily removed, so that's not really doing very well for us either. So it seems like our test area number 1, which is this, And this is what I'm talking about. This is test area number 1, and you can see that's working well because we cut it close to the ground. Now, in theory, it's pretty much the same way we've all done it too many times sometimes, is when we take a lawnmower and we cut towards an edge of something or a little bit of a bump in the lawn, and we cut that grass really close to the ground and it kills it off for a long period of time. That's what this is doing also too. It's the same type of theory behind it. I want to thank you very much for watching this video today. I hope it's very helpful to you. If something is left out and I didn't cover that, please write in the comments below and I'll get right back to you. So it seems like our test area number 1 that we cut close to the ground, again, you can use a weed whacker or a hedge trimmer to get that close to the ground and rough it up a little bit. And then the brown material here, the material that's left, you're gonna pull aside, and that's going to hopefully improve the benefits of killing that winter rye off. And remember, if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I'll see you shortly. Thanks.